Well, hello, you guys. And it's been a couple of weeks. Just gonna give it a split, give it a little split. 10 o'clock be seeming so late sometimes. But it's purposed. And if you're supposed to be where you're supposed to be, you're supposed to be where you're supposed to be. And if you ain't there, you out of place. So it is what it is. I'm here. And I hope that you are all having a wonderful day and have had a wonderful Memorial Day. Happy Memorial Day. Hope y'all ate some good old grilled food today. I did. I didn't. And I was wanting to, but I didn't. But I was preparing and resting and all of that good stuff like that. I meditated and um, did some good old resting, like I said. Um, so that I can just be prepared for the night. But I'm mad I missed out. But I won't even trying to pursue really some cooking out. So, but I was good. I just made me some good old onion rings. I told my daughters and my sister, Gerge, those onion rings. My sister was like, "Well, what you cook them in? What was your batter?" She said, "Cause I be trying to make mine crunchy." Cause she heard the crunch of those onion rings through the phone. And my daughter called them Funyuns. I was like, I could get with that. My baby girl was saying something about freezing the onions before you make them and they'll hold their shape because like all of them didn't stay together. And it could have been the way I cut them. The knife wasn't the greatest. But the taste was amazeballs. I loved it. So that's all that mattered. So I ain't seen y'all in like 2 weeks because I didn't come on last week. Um, But also, I am right here by the bedside. Y'all see, I am on my air mattress. I did not want to go get no chair today because I wanted my flower to show just a little bit. And it's showing, it ain't even really showing on that screen because I'm still figuring this stuff out. But it is showing a little bit on that screen. But we'll work it out. Humble beginnings, humble beginnings, humble beginnings, humble beginnings. So, I don't know if y'all took notice to my title, Are You Answerable? And I be saying, look, I didn't even this wasn't even me reading the Bible or anything like that, but just some of the words that I be coming with, I know that they get people because I had posted when I was speaking about the number 127, I had posted about being shamefaced. And it was before God. And when I tell you somebody came on and commented and was like, my God, do not look at my this is my makeshift dress, y'all. I gotta make sure I don't come I ain't being that good. I ain't being that good. We got to work that thing out. Hold up for a minute. I gotta get it right. I gotta get it this is me because I felt myself falling out. And we don't want that. This is me um, following what I have seen as probably some TikTok trends and just going in your closet and playing with some things and making some new things. So that's what I did. And but I just did not put it together that good in the back. So oh, that's not good either. Hold up, y'all. Y'all got to forgive me because I got to I can't be falling apart. I gotta get it together. So please forgive me because I have to get a pen. Because it's not gonna work without a pen. A humble beginnings, humble beginnings. Like I don't have no I don't have no fashion design. It's just I said the cat. And I gotta make sure that I ain't falling out. I gotta feel myself falling out while I was talking. Okay. There she go. Now she's straight. But anywho, um, so he was like, the guy he serves is not gonna say anything about shame, basically. But when I went back and I broke it down, as far as I always like to, when I'm breaking down the Most High, I always like to go in and try to put your parent involved in it. When I broke it down, and this was an old man. You know, time old men be stuck in their ways. So this was an old man. So when he came back on and he commented, he was like, okay, he was like, he knew that he was a dart. Basically, he was a dart himself. We gotta watch out for the fiery darts, but we have to understand when we are a dart or when we can be a dart. So he knew he was a dart. So when I broke it down to him like that, he was like, okay, I understand. And that's all that I be saying. So my caption, my title was, "Are you answerable?" And then I went on to break it down. Do you hold yourself accountable? And this is about accountability tonight. This is Sylvie 414. I am Lady Sylvie. And just call me the lady that's just a little rough around her edges. Rough edge lady. Howsoever you would like to say it. But I come because I always want somebody to see the balance. I always want somebody to see the them in anything that I may be discussing. You know, it's never going to be a point of trying to shame anybody or condemn anybody, but to have people that would want to self-analyze. Y'all always gonna hear me talking about self-analyze, so I welcome y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank y'all for checking me out. And we're gonna talk about accountability. So when I went to the etymology page that I use an etymology page called Etym Online, ETYM online.com. And so when I went to the etymology page and I plugged in accountability, the very first word that came up was answerable. And all I said when answerable came up is, this sounds like such a biblical terminology. Like this sounds like it came straight out of King James, but I'm on the etymology page, Lord. But are you answerable? Can anybody tell you anything? Do you look at yourself in a situation? If you call out a thing, do you justify that thing and skip right over it? Or do you take that thing in so as to understand how we can be better or not be so consumed by that thing? I'm gonna break that down a little better. I think it's very important that if we aren't accountable or we don't know how to be accountable, that we learn how to be accountable over massive areas of our lives. It's a lot of times that we think because we have certain areas of our lives intact, and I'm gonna just go ahead and throw this one out here. A lot of times it's financial. A lot of times people feel like because they got their finances intact, that everything else is smooth sailing. They think they're accountable because they know how to take care of their finances. They think that they are all the way responsible because they know how to take care of their finances. They think that their mental health is intact because they know how to take care of their finances. And this is still Mental Health Awareness Month. And I've been talking about mental health a lot with people, and I'm no professional. The Most High did bless me with a DSM. It's sitting right there looking in my face. And it's crazy because I am now reading an article. I'm not going to say what that article is in reference to right now, but it does deal with mental health. And in that article, it did reference the DSM number 4, which is the DSM that I have. So I'm going to continue in that article. I'm certain that article will become one of my live videos because that is the direction in which this platform is going. But today, it's accountability. Like, do you look in the mirror? Do you see self? So y'all know I've been saying on my short videos and everything, I am on my Kevin Samuels. I am on my Kevin Samuels. I'll probably continue to say rest in peace for a little bit, when I come on and I speak about him, because It was, I've heard people say that it was a shock to them, and it was a little bit of a shock to me. Like, I didn't know him personally, no, I didn't, but it was a little bit of a shock to me because I knew um, that this platform was. I'm not gonna say. Look, my coworker asked me yesterday, "So, Miss Yvette, what you supposed to be, the female Kevin Samuels?" I was like, "I mean, I'm gonna be Sylvie. I'm gonna be Sylvie, but I do believe that the Most High has called me." Okay, I'm gonna tell y'all about this number. I'm not really gonna break down the number because I haven't gone in to look it up fully. I have looked it up fully. One of them is 1133, the Hebrew and the Greek. The reason I said look it up fully because I can't tell you which one right now is the Hebrew definition and which one is the Greek, but I can tell you that one of them is leader and one of them is silly women. And there are times when I take those numbers when they come so close like that, because if you put it together, it's leader of silly women. So when they come so close like that, I do put them together. And I say, okay, Lord, what you want out of me? And I've said that over and over on this platform. The Most High spoke to me years ago about what he wanted out of me. And what I say, I ain't trying to step on nobody's toes. Don't nobody want to tell nobody how they're supposed to live their life, but people do not want to hear that. People don't want to hear you tell them how to live their life. That is why so many people, that I ain't even gonna say that. That's not why so many people have a problem with Kevin Samuels. Because I still declare and decree that the women that have the most problem with Kevin Samuels, because there are very few women. I hear more men who can say, I can see some of his points, but I can see where he was wrong, than I hear women saying that. And that what made me know this where the rough around the edges come in, because you might see me start talking with my hands. You might hear my vernacular change at times. But that's when I know, ladies, we're emotional. We're in our emotions. When a man can see both sides and we can't see both sides because we are upset because he don't talk right, and the men will tell you, the men that agree with him but don't agree with him will tell you, no, he don't always say things right. No, he don't always say things right. Guess what? The Most High had to get that straight with me, not with just a man. I said this the last time. With the peoples. With the peoples. And that will take me into my first conversation about one of the shows. This young lady, who is now a TikTok meme, was on, wait a minute, hold on. Oh, she wasn't on Kevin Samuels, excuse me, because I was about to put her on Kevin Samuels. So this young lady has a Instagram page, and so she was playing the therapist, and she was also playing the young lady. No, I'm mixing two things up. I can't stand when I do that. Yeah, no, because that young lady was on Kevin Samuels. That young lady was on Kevin Samuels. So this young lady says that she gives from the time that she wakes up. From the time that she wakes up. Now on my first live on TikTok about Kevin Samuels after he passed away, I spoke about giving raw before I even went and watched that video. I spoke about myself giving raw and how the Most High had to calm me down, because my raw was not just for a man. It was not just for a woman. It was for anyone who I feel like was in my face in a way that I did not like for you to be in my face. If I felt disrespected, if I felt wronged, if I felt came at, howsoever you look at it, I could give you raw and back you up off of me. So this young lady states that she gives raw from the time that she wakes up. Said, but she loyal and she got good cat. And she fried chicken right the first time. It is extra crunchy. She don't got a double back. And that's what I meant earlier by when you call yourself out and then skip over it, because you skip right over raw and went to all your assets. Which brings me to another show where and I'm going to tie this in with somebody I just met, because I already told y'all too, I'm on my goose and gander. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And I'm not just saying that, to take things lightly. I'm saying that meaning it. So he asked one young lady that was on the show to tell him about her. And that young lady told him everything positive. He said, you don't got no flaws? She looked baffled. You're going to have to ask the men that I date about my flaws. You don't know your flaws? Not nary one? Zip? Zilch? Zero? You don't know one of your flaws? If you don't know one of your flaws, that means that you've not taken the time to look within. I didn't even meditate 2 minutes at the beginning. And that is a no-no, because I mean that I got my meditation music up this time and didn't even do it. Because the goal is to meditate for 2 minutes before I start this program each Monday night. And that is not going to be slipping up. But since we already in it, let's go ahead on and continue in it. So she couldn't name one flaw of hers. That's the way that young lady first and foremost came across when you said that you were raw from the time that you woke up. So you just named your flaw, but then you covered your flaw with your loyalty and your good cat and your good cooking, all of which I promise a man I'm certain he can find anywhere, all of which he can find anywhere. So you're saying that, because this is the way it came across to me, as if you were saying, I don't got to fix this raw, deal with that raw. Because I'm going to cook you some good food. I'm going to be loyal to you. And I'm going to give you all the good ass you want. Alls of it. But then what do you expect from that man? Are there any expectations? I was talking to my coworkers on yesterday, and over the weekend, because I check my analytics on YouTube, I be trying to check my analytics on Facebook. My other Facebook page allows me to check analytics, but my regular Facebook page I haven't found how to check those analytics as of yet. So over the weekend, or as of Friday, the age group that watched me most was 35 to 44. Second runners up were 25 to 34. As of today, 25 to 34 took precedent, which means that there are young people watching me that have a voice. And the thing that my coworkers and myself were talking about on yesterday, and they are around that age group, that 25 to 44. One of them is 18, but she falls in the same age range. She's a little more mature. She's still young, but that's Kayla. But the conversation came to the way men are treated by Black women. I can only talk about Black women. I can talk about women because we got let's not get ahead of ourselves, but at the time that my coworker started speaking about his concerns, I let him know. I said, that's what my platform is about. I said, my platform is about speaking to Black women and allowing yourself to be able to see yourself in that woman that called into Kevin Samuels' platform. Kevin Samuels didn't pick up his phone and call now one of them women. Not a one. He did not pick up his phone and call now one of them women. Those women, he may have changed his platform because the men won't listen. And when I tell you, I have heard him come down on men as well. I heard the dude say, put your dick up. Stop thinking your dick make you a man. So with that being said, if he could say that to a man, which is most women's concerns with the men, then ladies, I'm gonna need for us to get out of our emotions and take in what we got to take in, because you cannot say on the one hand that you love the black man and then say on the other hand everything that tear him down. We have to sweep around our own front door. We cannot sweep around his front door. We can't say I understand, but we cannot say that. We gotta sweep around our own front door, okay? Because I'm gonna tell you the next demographic of people that watch me on YouTube. And not the next demographic so much as my male viewers are almost as many as my female viewers. So why would I want them to be on this platform and feel disrespected in any kind of way, shape, or form if there's an issue? Because I was able to speak with that with to speak about that with my coworker as well. It's not just women. If you are totally, then you are delusional. Want me to break that down? If you are totally on one end of the spectrum, then you are delusional. If you just sitting out this jank and just think that black women is all the way all wrong all the time, delusion. Vice versa, black women. If that's what you think about a black man, if you can't see the balance in it, and if you can't see yourself as an issue, if there is no room for correction, because I said that to say that young lady that couldn't name her flaws. That's why I talked about my goose and my gander. Because last week, I posted my little post because I went down to the water and I told my people, look, I'm on this private group on Facebook that helps me with my videos. Like and share, y'all. I'm going to start saying that. If y'all feel the need to like and share, I appreciate it. If you don't, I appreciate it. But I'm on the video in the private group. And so when I posted the video about my girlfriend and I being at the beach, because I'm on a temporary phone right now. So if I ain't on the Wi-Fi, I ain't on the Wi-Fi and I can't get on nothing, but I can record my videos so that when I get around the Wi-Fi, I can upload them if I need to. So I'm recording my little videos and she come over there into the video and she like, what am I on? And I just laugh. I'm like, you ain't on nothing now, but you're going to be on everything. You're going to be on TikTok. You're going to be on Facebook. You're going to be on Instagram. You're going to be on YouTube. And my people's off my private group. She was like, you're on everything. I say, yeah, I do post my videos on all platforms. It's the direction that I believe that I was given. So yeah, I do post them on all platforms. But I was walking because I went down to the second beach to get the rest of my steps in. And the young man asked me, he's older than me, but the young man asked if he could walk with me. And I was like, sure, you can walk with me. And so as we were talking and he was telling me about himself and he told me all the great things, I said, what's one of your flaws? The young lady did give one of her flaws because Kevin Samuels checked her on it when she gave her flaw, and he told her, welcome, 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 you guys. He told her that was a backwards compliment. And that's what that man gave himself, a backwards compliment. As a matter of fact, it was the same backwards compliment that she gave herself. When I asked him what was one of his flaws, he said, I'm obsessed with working. It's not really a flaw, it's a backwards compliment. I'm obsessed with making money, were his exact words. It's a backwards compliment. That's not a flaw. One of my flaws is I be on raw, but I understand I be on raw. And I understand that I have had to calm my nerves. Period. If you can't name a flaw, you're not ready to self-analyze. That brings me to a conversation that my sister and I were having about depression, which, as we know, is a mental disorder, mental illness, mental disorder that many people suffer with. We tend to think that most Black people suffer with PTSD. But we were talking today, and she said, see that? I believe depression is a choice. People was mad at Kanye when he said slavery was a choice. I have gotten chewed out for saying that you are in control of your members. We are a group of women that will say, I have heard numerous amounts of Black women say that they're underserved in the medical field. So if you're underserved in the medical field and you deal with depression, which I tell people all of the time, start with your words. Stop calling this shit yours. It is not your depression. It is not your anxiety. It is not your schizophrenia. It is not your bipolar. None of it belongs to you. Stop calling it yours. Let's start there. And that goes further than Christianity. Manifestation, power in the tongue. Your words are powerful. The Most High made me a lover of words from a young girl. I loved words. I loved to spell words. I loved to win spelling bees. My children could not ask me how to spell a word because I was going to ask them that same question back. How do you spell that word? As a matter of fact, I just asked my client the other day. And I work in a group home with adults with mental illness. And Rebecca said, Yvette, how you spell such and such? And I said, how you spell it, Rebecca? And she began to spell that word. So let's start with making every effort not to call these issues ours. Period. Does not belong to us. And then at that point, you have to decide if you love the attention or you don't. Is it going to be harder for some people? Yes. These are generational curses we talk about, childhood trauma we talk about, all of that. In order to become accountable, you have to first see you. You have to first see you. And this platform is about women taking the deepest and hardest look at yourselves. I'm talking all of the women that I'm just hearing. They're not just Black. Keisha Coles, you going through a thing. I say you could stand and sit down somewhere and self-reflect. Amber Heard, any number of the Kardashians. We don't even have to just put it at Kevin Samuels and the women that come up here. And one thing for sure and two things for certain, my finances may not be anywhere near any of those women from Kevin Samuels, but I promise you I could stand in the room and command it with any last one of them, because the Most High made me deal with my psyche first and help me to understand that I command the room and I attract. And if I attract, I attract. And the things that I needed to learn along the way before the release, yeah, those things I work on as I am walking down this path of healing. But if you are not willing to look at oneself, if you are always, if this person did it, if that person did it, if that person pushed your buttons, because I'm going to say again, Ivy Baptist Church, 2016, 17, and 18, the Most High said to me, don't allow your buttons to be pushed, which said to me, the buttons is mine. That whole first year, people came to me and was like, you ain't do nothing wrong. I said, I know. I rarely ever do wrong things. I ain't saying I'm perfect. I rarely ever do wrong things as far as bothering people. That's why when the buttons get pushed, whoo, pop like a firecracker, bang, bang, buddy, because I don't be bothered by nobody. I just be wanting to be left alone. But if the Most High said, don't allow your buttons to be pushed, there was no precursor. No precursor. Welcome, 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 y'all. There was no precursor that said, don't allow your buttons to be pushed unless somebody mess with you. In order for us to know accountability, to be liable, to be called into account, we have to be able to look at ourselves. There is so much going on in this world right now that does not want you to look at yourself and to be accountable. So much to keep you distracted. It's so easy to become distracted. But if we are not working on becoming accountable, I promise you, one thing for sure and two things for certain. If you're not working on becoming accountable for yourself, then you are not working on becoming the greatest part of yourself. You cannot be. It is no way on this green earth that you can self-evaluate and continue to place blame on others for things and situations not going right, especially if you find that you are the common denominator at any given time for any of those things. You got to be willing to look at it. Sometimes it's easy for people to just continue to want to sit in that thing. It's easier to sit in depression. Depression gets your attention. Is it getting you healthy attention? What happens after ain't nobody really on social media? You know what I'm saying? In those hours of the night, what's going on then? What happens when ain't nobody around to get the attention from, and you is crying and crying and crying and crying because no matter how much you try to seek this attention, it don't feel no better. Ladies, I implore, because I love that word. I implore y'all to learn how to meditate. I promise I implore y'all to take some time to learn how to meditate. You better say so. We take a whole lot of selfies and we not looking at ourselves. We take a whole lot of selfies and we not looking at ourselves. And somebody else posted something like that. Was like, we going out here, we getting all these BBLs, we going out here. Look at the TikToks that I see the most. The ones that's gonna change you from your to your from your to your. And every time I watch one of those, I say, how she feel on the inside, Lord? I know her face beat now. You know, I know she done went from this place to that place, face beat. How she feel on the inside parts? How you feel on the inside parts after you beat that face? How you feel on the inside part after you post that fly selfie? Because if your inside parts ain't feeling like that, baby, one thing for sure and two things for certain, that's not confidence. That's not confidence. If your inside parts don't feel like that smile on your selfie, or if that smile had to come with some pressure, you have to ask yourself about confidence at that point. Because that is the thing that I see when I look at the women that called into Kevin Samuels, and I'm not saying every woman, but many of those women had confidence issues, and people are bashing Kevin Samuels saying he gave women confidence. He didn't give them no confidence issues. They called in that jank with confidence issues. The one young lady called in and asked him, several of those young ladies called in and asked him to rate them and all that mess like that. No, you rate yourself. It is. It's a very dangerous place to be. Because let me tell you why it's the most dangerous to me, to be at a place where you fly on the outside and empty on the inside. Because that's what you're teaching the young ladies that are in your presence. That's what you're teaching the young ladies that are in your presence, to become that shell that's fly on the outside and empty on the inside. A whole empty shell. And these are supposed to be the young ladies that's supposed to be the next big great things in the future. We have to look at this thing differently. We have to look at this thing differently. It concerns me that there is so much going on right now on social media that just attributes to just vanity. Nothing about confidence. Everything I see is vanity. That's straight vanity. If you just going from your, there's nothing wrong with makeup. It's 10 o'clock at night, y'all. It's almost 11 o'clock at night. Guess what? I got makeup on. Why? Because the Most High said, this is what I want you to do when you go on this platform. This is what I want you to do when you go on this platform. But guess what else? I've already gone to the place where this makeup was just on top of a shell. Been there, done that. I've gone to the place where, ain't no makeup going on this face, because I do good to get up and make sure that I am clean and presentable. Been there, done that. And I've been through the place where I ain't got to wear no makeup on this face because I'm loving what I see. Still there. Still there. Took a long time to get to a place where I love what I see. But should our babies have to be in their 30s and 40s? Should your babies have to be in their 30s and 40s before they love what they see? Because there are so many distractions that keep us from wanting to self-evaluate so that we can teach these women how to be women. And ladies, y'all heard me in the beginning say, I am Lady Sylvie with the rough edges. Now there is some edges that is rough on this lady. But I'm not going to take away from my ladiness. Not going to take away from my ladiness. And that is what we have to get back to, because other than that, our baby girls is lost. They need to know how to be ladies, not strong boss bitches all the time. Not even strong women. And listen to me. Because in that strong women mode, a lot of times is where we forget our femininity, that with which makes us lady. A lot of us do walk heavily in our masculinity, and a lot of us want to rationalize that when we can work to balance it. It does not mean that it's not there anymore. It does not mean that if you get in a place where you need to protect yourself that you can and won't. It just means that you're learning that you have a feminine side. Now, do we have some men that need to understand? I can't negate science. I can't negate science. It's XX and XYs in every human on this earth, which means that everybody has feminine and everybody has masculine. And if we walk in overwhelmingly in one side, then that's totally. And what I say about totally, anybody that's walking in totally is delusional. And that's what this platform is about as well. Those that are wanting to learn how to do something different. Those that are willing to learn how to do something different. Because those that just want to sit in their mess, they might hear a harsh word on this platform from time to time, because the Most High said that sometime is for somebody. You just gotta let me direct you into when you can unleash. Other than that, I need for you to calm your nerves and just be nice. Yes, God. Yes, God. Because that was their problem. with Kevin Samuels, he wasn't nice. He wasn't nice. So if I be nice to y'all and tell y'all that y'all be a hot mess with these women, something with these men sometimes, y'all gonna listen. Y'all gonna listen. I'm gonna be nice. I'm gonna be nice as much as I can on this platform. I'm gonna be nice as much as I can. But I'm gonna tell you you're a hot mess when you need to know that you're a hot mess, and it is what it is. I was watching a platform today, Night and Day Network. They said they want to do a show. They was like, we should just be asking people what's their purpose. This been my purpose all along. To come to y'all out of love, ladies. To come to y'all out of love. I can't speak for a man. I can speak on this platform and you can get in where you fit in because change affects anybody. And if you are in a broken place and you need some fixing, doesn't matter whether you're a male or a female. It's a fixing that can be done. You have to be willing to look at yourself and take steps toward growth. Other than that, now before I get out of here, this chick on Kevin Samuels, that's the one that didn't see any flaws in herself. So if she didn't see any flaws in herself, she would you would have to ask her ex. She was trying to get a high value man, but she had been in a 4-year relationship with a man. And so Kevin Samuels was trying to get down to the bottom of why are you looking for a high value man? Do y'all know I had tea down here? This tea probably cold. I've been on here for 42 minutes. I've been on here for 42 minutes. I ain't took one sip of my tea. It is very lukewarm at this point. But she couldn't name one of her flaws. And she kept saying that, you would have to go to her ex. But then you find out she was in a relationship with this man for 4 years. He paid the bills. He did all of that stuff like that. And he's like, well, why? What was the breakup about? What was the breakup about? Because he was jealous of her work. She was an Instagram model. He was jealous of her work. Some will probably put that on him being jealous of her work, right? I will put that on why did you stay for 4 years? Because I asked so many women that. I asked friends and loved ones. Why you keep staying? I hear women say, I don't want him no more. I don't want him no more. He ain't doing right. He ain't this. He ain't that. But he won't leave. Out of situations where he ain't even on the lease. What you mean he won't leave? He not on the lease though. We have to understand that we are in control of that part. So if we are out here and we are searching for relationships emotionally, then we're going to get emotional relationships. If you're a Christian woman, you're not supposed to be searching. Period. Per the Bible, you're not supposed to be searching. But just say you are. If you're out here searching for emotional attachments, you're going to get an emotional attachment. You're going to have to understand and realize you are who you attract. You cannot expect that you are going to attract someone with a different mental faculty than you have going on. You cannot. It's not scientifically possible. You attract who you are. Yes, ma'am. Help every last one of us. Help every last one of us. But I had one of my peoples was saying that men would miss out because they concerned about weight. And I've made that video about that. If I am working towards health, I get to choose somebody that's working towards health. It's my choice. If he's working towards health, he gets to choose somebody that's working towards health. If you want him, maybe work towards health. If that, but you can't then say he missing out because he don't want nobody that's heavy. And then I ask, is that all men? Do you got stats on that? No, just my experience. Oh, okay, because your statement made it seem like all men. Accountability. Accountability. We have to learn how to take accountability. I saw another post. This one was about the parent and the child relationship. I just said on the video, I am the parent who the Most High, I believe, has placed here to say to parents, don't provoke your child, because a lot of times we go straight to honor thy mother and thy father, and it is so. It is so. But I promise, don't provoke your child is in there too. It's in there. I think that was a Prego commercial. It's in there. I don't know. But it's in there. Don't provoke your child. So if you're in a situation where you're not being honored, have you asked yourself, are you doing any provoking? Accountability. It's the accountability for me in this season. It's the accountability for me. So if I could just ask that y'all ask yourself that question. Are you liable to be able to be called to account for the things that you do? For the ways that you act? For the relationships that you have? Are you the common denominator in any relationship that is not going as planned? Do you self-evaluate? Gotta start somewhere. Gotta start somewhere. Cause these babies, these 25 to 34-year-olds that are my biggest followers on YouTube right now, and the ones even below them, because like I said, Kayla's only 18. My coworker's only 18. They need to see something that they have not been seeing, because they are taken by this vanity on this social media. And if they are taken by this vanity and we don't step into place the way that we should be, because the issue is that we taken by it too. In the other age range, that 35 to 44, because my least age range, and I do have those followers, were the 45 to 54s, but they were the smallest. And I said to somebody, I said, because most of those 45 to 54, I believe, and I have not done the stats. You'll hear me say when I ain't done the stats. But I believe a lot of those in that age range were still raised by parents in two-family households. And don't get me wrong, because a balance is a balance is a balance. And the parents that was raised by parents in two-family households have some healing that can be done, and have some understanding that has to be open as well. However, as I stated, the age ranges that watch me the most are between the ages of 25 and 44. And if you think about it, those are parent-children relationships right now. Let me tell you why. Because my baby is 27 on Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? On Thursday. and her mother is 48, so we are about that age range. My oldest daughter is going to be 30 in November, and her mother is 48, so we're about that age range, who are taken up by the same things. My daughters and I look, I was totally baffled when for one of my birthdays, my daughter said that they were coming into the club. Now I was totally baffled by what, did I go to the club with my daughters? Yes, because I ain't never really been no club person. I just always went to the club because I like to dance and I like to get out the house because I've always been a homebody. My daughters, they're not club people either. So for them to want to celebrate with me in that way I felt honored because they don't step in no clubs. They don't step in no clubs. and we didn't even stay long because they couldn't go on the side that I like, and I did not want to be on the side that we could be on because that's what their age group was. And I wanted to go up there with 30 and up people because they were going to be playing my kind of music, and I was going to be able to shake a leg. I want to shake a leg and all that. But again, I just appreciated that my daughters and I were able to do that. But even if you lose the balance in that, there might be the balance of, because you're never going to hear me say that I'm the parent that don't feel like you can be a friend to your children. But you have to understand the balance of parenthood first. If there's no clear line, I'm going to end on that. We need a clear line, effective communication. We need to learn how to use our words. Self-analyze. Accountability is the word for today. Accountability. Are you answerable? I thank y'all for giving me y'all ear. I hope that y'all enjoy the rest of your Memorial Day. This is Lady Sylvie, the lady with the rough edges. Just a little rough around them edges. I enjoyed y'all, and y'all have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your night. I'm out. Oh, that's not that good. That's not a touchscreen computer.